guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nenna, and today I'm back with another cast for you guys. I'm really excited to sit here and do my usual babbling about nothing. This channel is such a hobby, and I take so much pleasure out of this channel, out of recording even the smallest random videos like this. I mean, I guess I'm doing a cast, which is not super random. I'm really excited to be back recording. I'm a little bit congested today, so I'm sorry if you can tell by my voice, but I haven't been able to record every day as I would have liked for quite a while, and now that I seem to be getting a cold, I'm not gonna let that stop me either. So I'm sorry if it's a little bit bothersome. I'm hoping that it will go away eventually. It would be kind of bad if I stayed congested and kind of like this for a long time, wouldn't it? I've talked about it plenty on my channel, and if you guys already know the story, feel free to just mute this video and go on with your life. 3 months ago, I needed to do a bit of a drastic change in my life, and it sounds really dramatic, but it really isn't. I've been doing YouTube for so many years, and I've always had this mentality that if you work for something as a hobby, it doesn't necessarily have to come first, but a hobby like YouTube, for example, which revolves around audience and audience retention, it does require a level of effort, and it does require a level of communication. And having a hobby like this, it always I personally felt like this is one of those hobbies which you just cannot leave for months and months and months. If you don't engage, if you don't upload, then you lose a big chunk of what this hobby is about. And surely if you upload for yourself, it's always a good time to upload, even if you take months. However, if you actually do want engagement and a following, and you want to have a bit of a successful channel, so to say, it's recommended to upload quite regularly. I have been doing YouTube for a long time, and this channel has existed for very many years. I started this channel in 2012, so this channel is almost 10 years old, and I have accomplished quite a lot actually for just a Sims channel, for a channel that started with 0 subscribers and then went to 2,000, and I was stagnated and stuck on 3,000 or 4,000 for 3 years straight. It was impossible to grow, and then this year I've made the craziest growth. I've grown over 1,000 people, which is a 100% increase since, well, probably the last few years of this channel. There was always one thing that I wasn't happy about, and it really wasn't anything to do with YouTube itself, but it was how I felt about my hobby. My YouTube hobby. I always thought that having a YouTube hobby was something I had to prioritize because of the things I said earlier. I have to stay relevant in a way, and I always felt as if I didn't put YouTube first, I wouldn't be able to do the hobby that I like in such a way that I have been doing. I've always been uploading regularly, so that wasn't really a big change for me. I started doing a lot of casts, and doing a cast, it's really easy to do them every day or multiple per day. You can really record those back to back. It's really not I don't think it's a difficult or a long video to make. Eventually, I didn't really have many subscribers, and still I uploaded quite regularly. I started recording less frequently as I didn't see that many people were watching my videos. I wasn't giving up, but when people don't really watch your videos, the pressure to really record every day is also just less, at least in my case it is. Here, I've made such progress, and I really started to devote most of my time to YouTube, and towards the end or mid-end of this year, I kind of realized that I'm taking a bit of an unhealthy route with YouTube. I ended up prioritizing YouTube over everything else. It came to a point where I would record a video and I would spend maybe half a day, like 8 hours on a video. 8 hours on a video, realistically, doing that every day, it's maybe not as ideal as I would have wanted it to be. And I think it's quite common for people that do YouTube or maybe anything else that requires some sort of interaction, some sort of schedule, some frequency in which you upload, that we kind of start to prioritize that over things that we need to do as well. And for me, I love doing YouTube, and it was one of the reasons that I kind of prioritize it with love, because when you do something that you enjoy so much and you have time to do that, you want to do more of it because it makes you happy. You get engagement, and I love the interaction with people. It's honestly the best. I mean, it made the problem worse, so to say. It was also a bit of a rough year for me. I started to gain more views and more subs, which meant that I would get more people to watch my videos, and that of course meant that I would have an increase in my income. And you have to reach some sort of threshold with YouTube, so it's not like you get paid every month. But I've always been able to get paid like a few times per year. It was like a regular thing for me. I didn't even think about it anymore. It's a blessing, honestly. Not enough to live from, but it's definitely enough to sit here and be like, oh my god, did I do that? Did I just create a sim and earn this? You know, it gave me this kind of feeling. I always thought like, do I even deserve this? Do I deserve this amount for what I'm doing? You know, that on its own is also a bit of a problem. When you realize that this hobby that you're doing and devoting so much time to also gives you an income, you start to spend even more time on it, and it became a bit of a reward as well. I ended up recording more, I would gain more money, I would be more miserable, but it kind of, you know, it was a bit of a spiral. And I couldn't figure out why I was unhappy, because I do love YouTube. I love playing Sims. I have enough time for it. I'm not necessarily living an unhappy life, but yet I still felt like I wasn't accomplishing anything else. And it was so freaking frustrating to me, and I couldn't figure out what it was. I really didn't want to sound ungrateful. I really didn't like the thought of not uploading as much. I value what I've gained so far, and I value it a lot. I cannot imagine these people, you guys, watching me with the amount that you do and like my videos and subscribe to my videos. Like it's incomprehensible to me that you guys like me this much, right? Or like my videos this much. Felt really bad thinking about, I guess, admitting that I wanted to do less of it, but I wanted to do more of me. Struggled with the idea for a while until I just said, you know, fuck it, I'm just going to do it. And I did. I seriously, I just went for it. 3 months ago, I said, fuck it, I'm gonna put myself first. That means we're gonna have less videos. Oh my god, it was a pain, but besides that. And now I'm here after 3 months, and I've actually gained a lot of insight, and I feel much better. I feel much happier, and my time is almost, well, I mean, when I say my time has come, that sounds quite sinister, but the project, it's pretty much over, and I have a lot of things that I've learned and that I feel like sharing in this video. If it's a bit of a long video, I'm gonna make up for it by showing you guys a bunch of, maybe I'll do a build, maybe this is a cast. I'm not exactly sure. I said it was a cast, but maybe it's going to be something different. I'm actually not entirely sure, but we'll see what I come up with after I record this voiceover. It was really, really, really difficult for me to put myself first, because every day I woke up and I thought about what is the most important thing I have to do today. And thanks to COVID, I think a lot of us had literally nothing else to do. We couldn't go anywhere, we couldn't do anything. Things were limited. It wasn't a good situation. So many of us were really confined to home. And for me, since I wasn't really, you know, able to go anywhere, and I didn't really have any responsibilities, at least, you know, this year I didn't have any, I was pretty much able to sit back and do little to nothing this year, which is a blessing on its own. But let me tell you, when you spend it all on just like recording videos, it's not as rewarding as you think it is. Woke up every day thinking that I should be doing something. I should be doing the one thing that I feel like is my responsibility. And not being able to do that one thing was so incredibly frustrating. But I also knew that I had other things that I've been putting off for months, because I told myself that I have to spend 8 hours a day working on videos. And then I look back at these videos and I think they're not even that great. They're not even that amazing. Sure, they're fun. I mean, they're just simple. Like, I'm not a, you know what I mean? I'm not Swirl's best storyteller, builder, or let's player, or even just content creator, my videos are okay, but definitely not like 9 hour worthy of doing every day, you know what I mean? I couldn't figure out what it was that was making me so obsessed with spending all my time on YouTube. Just didn't know what it was. I think I realized that I have a bit of a personality issue. And I'm not, okay, that sounds dramatic. See, I've done therapy for a few years, and thanks to therapy, I found out that one of my coping mechanisms for everything is avoidance. And I really didn't feel like I was avoiding anything in my life. But it turns out that I was using YouTube as an avoidance as well. Every day I woke up focusing on YouTube, avoiding everything that was happening in my life. And I didn't realize this until I actually stopped it and decided to just focus on me. Once I started focusing on myself, I was kind of like, holy crap, what the hell am I doing? I see, maybe for some people it's a bit hard to understand how hard it is to do a couple things in a day. But I've gotten so used to spending all my focus on one thing because it was the easiest thing. It was the easiest for me to do than to spend time on 20 things a day. Just spend all your time on one day. And then even though I felt regret, I wasn't happy, I still kept the cycle of doing it. I definitely think I was trying to cope with a lot of things that were happening in my life, and some of the things I still cannot talk about because these are just really personal, and I just don't really feel comfortable putting them online because they also evolve. They're also about other people, so I feel like, you know, they kind of deserve their own privacy as well. I definitely think I was running away from myself and my problems. Like I said, for me, it was so easy to dedicate all my time and focus on like one thing or two things rather than trying to do a bunch of little things during the day, like a variety of things during the day. I would so obsess myself with one thing that it was almost like a brain dead activity. I didn't have to think, I didn't have to feel. It's really depressing. I mean, it wasn't like that, you know, but it does sound quite depressive. Look, I have been working on myself for the past months, and I really wanted to break this habit because I'm kind of tired of only doing one thing. And this is a bit of a personal story, okay? And I'm not easily embarrassed about things that I say. I really don't care. If I felt like people were gonna judge me for it and I would care about it, I probably wouldn't put it online. But I decided to put it online because I don't mind people knowing my struggles. Hopefully it helps you connect with me. Hopefully it gives us a bit of a deeper understanding of each other, and I would love to share some bits and pieces of my life. I mean, I know it's not always fun. I guess it's not the most fun thing to talk about. But it's not the most positive thing to talk about, but I think it's also important to talk about things that maybe could help other people. What I've learned these past months is actually quite valuable. I try to tell myself that I should be doing a lot of things, the lesser I would actually do them. And I've learned that the key to wanting and doing a lot of things is to not want them, but to do them. Every morning that I woke up and I decided, you know, today let's pick out a workout. Let's do that. Okay, I'm going to work out. All right. After my workout, I'm going to do, I don't know, another game, as long as it's not Sims. Do that. Okay, I want to clean. I want to paint the room. I don't know. I'm literally naming things now that I did do, but it wasn't like I planned them. But whatever. Let's imagine I planned. Let's say that I actually did plan them. When you do small things throughout the day that you want to do, but that you always feel like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, you actually feel like you've done a shit ton with your day. Doing a bunch of little things is actually more rewarding than spending 8 hours doing one thing. And don't get me wrong, I love spending 8 hours on The Sims and on YouTube and constantly working on projects. But I would love to be able to do that after I've also done those tiny things. I'm just so ridiculously frustrated with myself to step away from YouTube and literally not give myself any room to avoid, to realize that it's actually not that hard to do things your mind is so complicated. Your mind will literally tell you, you have to do this thing. You have to do YouTube for 8 hours. You have to do it. There's nothing else you can do. This is what you need to do. And then you don't do it and you're fine. You're absolutely fine. Okay, hopefully this video might be a bit too chaotic and it might be a bit too negative. I'm gonna put a bit of a warning because I don't wanna you know what I mean? I don't wanna just put it out there and then people click on it and be like, oh my god, what the fuck is this? Oh, well, so depressing. I really realized that my mind is holding me back a lot of the times, and that it's really important to do what you like, but it's also important to sometimes force yourself to do things that you like. And telling yourself, I don't have time, I have to do this one thing just so that you don't have to think about other things. It's so incredibly damaging. It's so incredibly self-sabotaging, and it's honestly, I wouldn't recommend it. Honestly, if you're feeling like this right now, step away and try to just do a bunch of small things. I honestly can recommend it. Now, if you're wondering what's going to happen now, I'm going to go back to recording as much as I can. But this time, I'm only going to record when I need to record, and I'm only going to work on the game if I need to do something. I need to prepare something. I'm not gonna go and sit here and exaggerate myself. I'm not gonna do an exaggeration of 8 hours a day on YouTube again. I am going to allow myself to maybe make YouTube less of a priority, but put myself first in all instances. And you know what, guys? I'm so happy about it. I'm so happy I can actually say this. I feel okay with it. My priority is myself. My priority is working out every day. My priority is, I don't know, getting dressed every day, getting my makeup done or my hair done or my nails done. I don't know, hairy butt cheeks. It could be anything, as long as it is self-care, as long as it is something I do for myself. And as long as I've done those things, then I can be like, yeah, now I have those 8 hours to spend or waste, however you want to see it, on YouTube. I also have some fun things coming up for myself this year, but before I even talk about those things, I want to just go back into my upload schedule. I'm so close to finishing some Let's Plays. I'm actually not close to anything else, but I'm close to finishing a Let's Play, at least that much. And I'm really excited to, I'm just really excited to start season 2 as well. So I'm just gonna have to see how that goes, how we're gonna do with that. I already talked way too much for this video, you guys. I'm just so sorry, but it's a happy ending. It's a happy ending. But after all, we don't end well, all well, as we say here. And I'm really excited for a better relationship with myself and with YouTube. And I'm really thankful for you guys to stick around. I've seen some people have subscribed to my channel when I wasn't even recording much or uploading much. So I want to say thank you so much to you guys as well. I'm just really grateful. Thank you guys so much. I'll probably do my annual end of December. Thank you for everything. Cheesy, cringy, sobby, all of the above, end of the year speech. But thank you guys so much for always supporting me and still being here and allowing me to do a hobby as simple as this. And most important, thank you guys so much for allowing me to make some money with this as well. It's really helping me a lot. Alright, I want to thank you guys so much for watching my videos and for sitting through this a little zombie story of mine. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!
Don't fry.